Good evening and welcome back to Etown News. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Phillip. OSA Movie Night, the Career Fair, and more coming up after this.
Elizabethtown College has our own student-run radio station here in Steinman. Students in any year can join to be a DJ and there's no prior experience needed. We have many great DJs for this semester. To listen to our DJs, tune in on the radio or use the TuneIn app to listen to WWEC 88.3, The Sound of Elizabethtown.
Tonight, OSA is hosting a movie night in honor of Valentine's Day. OSA will be showing the well-beloved 90s rom-com 10 Things I Hate About You, starring Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger. This modern adaptation from William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew will be shown in Gibble Auditorium starting at 8 p.m. To stay in the loop for all updates hosted by OSA this semester, be sure to follow their Instagram at EtownOSA.
Do you know an inspiring faculty member who demonstrates the importance of student-faculty experiences by embodying Etown's Educate for Service motto? Nominate them for the Schmidt Prize. This prize was started to celebrate faculty members who create meaningful student experiences through service. All members of the college community, including students, staff, and alumni, are eligible to make nominations. Submit your nomination by Monday, February 17th, at the link on the screen to recognize a faculty member who made a meaningful difference in your education.
The Career Development Center is hosting a business meet and greet this Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m. in the CAV. There will be a variety of companies who are offering jobs and internships to Elizabethtown students. You can meet and talk to employers you might be interested in working for. It's suggested that you bring copies of your resume and dress business attire. The online registration is now open on Handshake.
OSA will be hosting a trivia game night next week on February 21st. From 7 to 8 p.m. in the J Lounge. Students that sign up can battle others testing their Disney knowledge following the game of trivia. The fun night will continue with various board and card games. Conrad's Corner will also be available throughout the night. This event has a limited number of spots available, so be sure to claim your spot as soon as possible. Students can sign up at the Hub in the BSC from February 17th to 21st. Have fun, Jays.
Sharing a hometown tradition with a fiery twist, Layla Murphy has a story on the annual Phoenixville Firebird Festival.
With a few more weeks until spring, these festival goers dedicated one cold Saturday night to a year-long awaited event. The Firebird Festival, hosted in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, started 21 years ago by a small committee wanting to rekindle the arts within the community. What was once a small event of creating murals in town became building and burning a 20-foot-tall wooden phoenix and the gathering of over 10,000 people. This tradition follows the myth of the phoenix and how it is reborn, rising from its own ashes. The brains behind this operation is Henrik, who works with a group of volunteers to build the bird starting in September. The bird is then built and ready to be lit in December, which is the perfect way to stay warm in the winter.
That is not snow, ladies and gentlemen. That is not snow.
With a sky full of ash, this year's bird really brought the heat. Volunteers have always enjoyed bringing this festival to life. Jerry Sorigliano, a former volunteer, reflected on her memories helping to build the Phoenix.
We worked together with the Firebird crew, and those moments were so fun with the community and doing it with my family. It was great.
While this event normally occurs in December, Chester County extended their burn ban due to the drought conditions experienced at the end of the year. But did this delay hinder people's spirits? Festival goer Glenn Murphy had this to say.
It was moved to February 1st, which has been a great anticipation because the additional couple extra months. It's been great. It brings a lot of people together, and we love it.
Volunteers will start working on the next Phoenix Firebird design this September.
From Elizabethtown College, Layla Murphy, ECTV 40.
Now here's Gwen Young with your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Ella. Kelty Oster continued her impressive season by breaking another indoor track school record. Last Friday, she ran a 4:55 mile at the Fast Track National Invitational, becoming the first woman in school history to break 5 minutes in the event. She didn't rest long as she competed at the Blue and White Invitational the very next day, winning the 3K running 10:26. Other notable performances came from Kirsten Navich, Kate Bendel, Ash Rich, Trevor Albright, and Adam Carmo, who all placed top 3 in their events. Next up, a trip to the Big Apple where both teams will compete in the NYU Division III Invitational. Elizabethtown Wrestling dominated Johns Hopkins 47-6 this past Saturday in the Battle of the Belt. Etown won 9 out of the 10 matches, with Gannon Smith picking up his 21st pinfall of the season. The team is now 7-4 on this season and faces Messiah tonight at 7. Men's volleyball had a doubleheader last Saturday, taking on Roanoke and Rutgers Newark. They were victorious in their first match against Roanoke, winning 3-1. Logan Smith had 23 kills, while Ethan Scott led the team with 38 assists. Elizabethtown came up short in their next match against Rutgers Newark, losing 3-1. Braden and Brewster had an impressive 43 assists, but it was not enough to defeat the Scarlet Knights. The team will travel to Chambersburg on Tuesday to take on Wilson College. Both men and women's basketball were victorious over Goucher on Wednesday night. Brant Russo had 22 points alongside E.J. Finney, who added 17, helping the men defeat the Gophers 85-70. They now stand at 9-13 on the season and 5th in the Landmark Conference. The women's team had their highest scoring game of the season, crushing Goucher 121-85. Kylie Wilson had an impressive performance, scoring 25 points while shooting 5 for 5 from 3. The Blue Jays improved to 19-3 with a national ranking of 20. The Landmark Conference Championships for swimming kicked off today in Baltimore, Maryland. Both teams are competing in various events, hoping to bring home some hardware. Super Bowl 59 is officially in the books, with a result not many saw coming. The Philadelphia Eagles shocked the world by decimating the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. What was expected to be a close game turned out to be a massacre, as the Eagles were up by 34-0 in the third quarter. Quarterback Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP, throwing for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. It was less than smooth sailing for opposing quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who threw 2 interceptions and was sacked 6 times, as his dream of a three-peat came crashing down. There is speculation that his teammate Travis Kelce could be retiring following this loss. A few days before the Super Bowl, the NFL honors were held to recognize the top players from this season. The MVP race was tightly contested all year between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but ultimately it was Allen who won the award for his first time. Saquon Barkley won Offensive Player of the Year, while Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain Jr. took home Defensive Player of the Year. In other news around the NFL, the New York Jets informed Aaron Rodgers that they will not be bringing him back next season. Whether or not Rodgers will retire is still up in the air. Myles Garrett and Deebo Samuel are also looking for new homes next season, as both players requested trades from their current teams. That's all for sports. Now here's Layla Murphy with weather.
Thanks, Gwen. Welcome to the weekly weather watch, where we cover the weather once a week, rain or shine. I'm your host, Layla Murphy. Today, Friday the 14th, is partly cloudy with a high of 33 and a low of 27. Saturday, we will see some rain with a high of 43 and a low of 41. Sunday will be a mixture of rain and snow with a high of 46 and a low of 22. We will see some clouds early on Monday, but the sun will come out later in the day. There will be a high of 26 and a low of 9. Tuesday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 21 and a low of 9. Wednesday will once again be mostly cloudy, but we will have a high of 24 and a low of 12. And on Thursday, we will have a cloudy day with a high of 24 and a low of 13. Thanks for tuning into the weekly weather watch. I'm Layla Murphy. See you next week. Now back to Phillip and Ella in the studio.
For the first time in a while, progress has been made between Russia and Ukraine. President Donald Trump spoke to Vladimir Putin in what he says was a lengthy and highly productive call. Afterwards, he talked with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, discussing what steps could be taken to end the conflict. The war has been going on for nearly 4 years. This past Wednesday, Tulsi Gabbard was sworn in as the new Director of National Intelligence. The former Democrat joins Trump's cabinet as one of his top advisors, overseeing issues involving foreign governments and militaries. She was confirmed in a 52-48 vote by the Senate, with Mitch McConnell being the only Republican to vote against her. The federal corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams have been ordered to be dropped. He was indicted on accusations of bribery, fraud, and soliciting illegal campaign donations. He thanked the Justice Department for ending the investigation, which he called an unnecessary ordeal. He has denied these allegations and pleaded not guilty in court.
Last Sunday, Kendrick Lamar took the stage at the Super Bowl 59 halftime show, making him the first solo rapper to ever headline the event. Fresh off his 5 Grammy wins, Lamar played mostly songs from his 2024 album GNX with special guests SZA and DJ Mustard. The performance did not just focus on music, though, as actor Samuel L. Jackson popped up between songs dressed as Uncle Sam to offer commentary. Jackson taunted Lamar with statements like, "too loud, too reckless, too ghetto," serving as a representation of how Black artists have been treated in the music industry. Lamar ended the halftime show with his most anticipated song of the night, the Drake diss track, Not Like Us. Tennis star and rumored former significant other of Drake, Serena Williams, made a surprise appearance to dance on stage as well. Despite the ongoing legal battle surrounding the song, Lamar performed it with a big smile on his face and a lot of help from the crowd. In other music news, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ballot for this year was released on Wednesday. Along with the first-time nominees are Outkast, Fish, Billy Idol, and the Black Crowes. In addition to these, Oasis, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes, Joy Division, and others will hold a place on the ballot. Despite the Hall of Fame's history of receiving backlash for nominating less women artists than men, this year only sees Mariah Carey and Cyndi Lauper for their consideration. And lastly, Southern Charm star Craig Conover provided some insight into his split with Summer House star Paige DeBro. On an episode of Watch What Happens Live, he said that he was blindsided by the breakup, contradicting DeBro's claim that the breakup was mutual. The couple split in November after 3 years together, just days before he planned on moving to New York City together with her. Conroe says he is still processing the separation.
That's all for this week, Jays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all the latest updates on our shows. I'm Phillip Patches.
And I'm Ella Kocher. Have a great week, and remember to
Take flight, Etown.